It's no place for a child. This northern area of Aleppo is where the most Syrian children have died. In a war where the youngest aren't just caught in crossfire. They're targeted, even tortured. This report is an effort to establish how and where Syria's children are dying. The vast majority, it says, were killed by bombs or shells in their own neighborhood. But many were singled out. 389 cases of sniper fire, 764 summary executions, and it found 112 recorded deaths by torture. Some were just infants, but most were teenage boys. The report says they're at greatest risk. They're out in the streets more, and they're old enough to fight. The report stresses these figures are incomplete. Access is impossible in some areas, but it still highlights the horrors.
Children are targeted because it destroys a community, it destroys a family. When you know your child has been tortured, has been murdered, has been brutalised, you lose the will to live. So many parents have said to me when we've spoken to them, we wish it was us, we don't want to live anymore, we don't want to continue.
The world took notice during the chemical weapons attacks in the Damascus suburbs in August, but it didn't stop the war, this war on childhood. And every day, families flee to neighbours like Lebanon. Children account for half of the refugees. They're safer here, but still suffering from trauma and displacement.
Across this region, Syria's children face an uncertain future. This report is also a plea to all sides in this conflict to spare the most vulnerable. And it calls for the threat of prosecutions against those who continue to commit the worst of atrocities in a war that just keeps getting worse. Lise Doucette, BBC News, Beirut.